Okay, I think we're ready to start now. So happy Early Years Teacher Day and welcome everyone to our Origami Workshop. This session is delivered to you by Best Practice Network and Origami Est, and this is a part of the National Early Years Teacher Day celebration. And now over to Esther.
Great, thank you. Hi everyone. I'm Origami Est, but actually I also do have a background in teaching early years. So I'm really excited to be teaching these to you, and I've taught them to children myself, and they're something that children absolutely love to do. So let's get started. As has just been said, we did do pans and foxes this morning, and so well actually at midday. So if you would like to do pans and foxes, then do look at the recording of that and you'll be able to do those. But this afternoon we are going to do some oh my goodness, I've completely crabs. I forgot what it was called. Oh my word. And then monsters as well. And the great thing about doing these bookmarks is that you can just keep on adapting them to make different creatures. And it's something that children find very addicted to do. And there's not too many folds, so it's not too complicated. So they feel like they've really achieved something. So let's get started. The best size square to use, I find, is 15 by 15 centimeters. So you're going to need that to make your bookmark itself, but then you do also want other bits of coloured paper to be able to just decorate your shape as well. So for the rabbit, I've got my pink paper to do my bookmark, but then I've got some pink paper in addition to be able to do some ears so that it matches it. Now, all you want to do to start off with is fold in half diagonally. If you have got patterned paper, you want to make sure that the pattern side is face down. And then we're going to fold diagonally. And the best way to describe that to children, I find, is to just say fold corner to corner, like so, and then crease. It's always really important to just keep reminding children that to get that really good fold, you want to find the corners, get that in place, and then crease. I think sometimes the temptation for children is to just hurry the fold, but actually they can do it nice and slowly, and they'll find that they get the results that they want if they do. I know it's often quite hard to slow children down though, obviously. Okay, so now we're going to take those bottom corners and fold them up to the top corner. So I'm going to take this corner here, bring it all the way to the top, line it up, and then crease like so. I'll do that again. So if I unfold, I'm taking that bottom corner, bringing it all the way to the top, and then creasing. And then I want to do the same again on the other side. So I'll take the bottom corner, bring the paper all the way up, and then crease once I've got it nice and neatly lined up, like so. And then we'll just unfold there, like so. And so now you should be able to see two diagonal folds folding down to the bottom here. The crease finishes there. Now that's where we're going to bring the top layer of paper down to. So as you know, we've already folded this in half. So there's two layers of paper here. You want to separate them out and just literally use that top layer to fold down to the bottom corner like so. And crease the whole way across. So I've still got that back layer nice and flat. Now this part, I feel you can often then see where we're working towards. So if we have a look at the rabbit, that back section there is what we've got going on here as well. So we're already seeing the shape of the bookmark happening. The next step is to take those outside corners and fold them to the center as well. So I'm going to bring this over. I'll be folding my triangle in half, like so. Look at all that brilliant maths language that you can use. So folding in half, and then also let's look at those triangles. Really good way to talk about lots of different things while they're doing their bookmarks. So once I have folded that, I've then unfolded it, and I'm going to repeat the same on the other side. So I'm going to take that outside corner, fold the triangle in half. So I'm folding up to that same point down there, crease, I'm going to unfold, and then this is the final thing that we need to do using the creases that we've already got. So we'll refold along this back section here, and then tuck that new fold, tuck that bit of triangle right in and behind this section of paper here. I'll repeat that again. So I'm tucking this section into there. So I'm going to bring it all the way over, tuck it right in, and there it is, nice and neatly tucked inside. And then I've got this nice triangle on the outside as well. So I'll repeat that on the other side. This can be one of the more fiddly parts, but because you've got all those pre-creases there, it should get there in the end. I've also found sometimes when I've folded these with children that they don't get this fold completely straight, and that is absolutely fine, obviously. Sometimes it means they make quite a fun shape out of it, and that's not a problem at all. So there we have our basic bookmark shape. Now we want to transform this one into a rabbit, and actually we're going to have it this way round. You'll notice that when we end up doing the monster and the crab, the shape is the other way round. So it's quite nice that it's one of these shapes that you can kind of adjust to just be different things. In fact, you could even, I've just thought, you could even make it into like a bit of a fish if you use it this way round and have like the face coming out that way. So you can just keep on thinking of different ways to adapt it to make it into different faces. Oh, I wanted the other way, this way for a rabbit. So the next thing that I would do is create the ears. So I'm going to get a smaller piece of paper. I've got a square. That's because I'm an origami artist, so I have lots of squares lying around. Any shape of paper that you have that will go well with what you've made. And we want to make it into ears. It is the kind of thing that you may want to prepare rather than getting all the children to cut out their own ears. Obviously, scissors and early ears. Some children might be brilliant with them, some children really might not be. So just absolutely differentiate for what your children can or can't do. So you obviously want to make lots of these beforehand if this is going to be something that you do for the children. But on one half of the paper, I'm going to make my ear shape. That's quite big, but I don't mind. I can make it a rabbit with really big ears. So I've got one ear shape on this side, and then I'm going to fold my paper in half so that I can cut the two at the same time. So a nice big loop. And as I just did, it might be worth just double checking that it fits okay with the size of your bookmark. So I'm going to fold that in half. Like so, and then just take my scissors and cut around that ear shape. Like so. Okay, so here I've got my two ears. I'm going to turn that one the other way so that they are mirror image. There we go. And they'll go like so. So before I stick them in there, I want to just add a little bit of detail to the ears. Here I've used a darker pink pen, but you could also use a black pen or, well, any colour really, whatever you fancy. I'm going to use a darker pink that I've got here, and I'm just going to literally draw a slightly smaller oblong inside there, and then colour that in and do the same again on the other side. If you're going to pre-cut the ears for the children, then actually giving them the job of of colouring in the middle section might be quite a nice element for them to be involved in. There we go, and there's the other side. I mean, actually, I'm just thinking about it, you could even use a really nice like patterned paper or something cut up and stuck inside. If you wanted it to be not involving pens, you could kind of almost collage it together. Anyway, so there we go. There are my 2 ears ready to be stuck. Now I am using Yoo-hoo glue, which is obviously something you won't be using in your particular environment, but any kind of glue like Pritt Stick or even just double-sided sticky tape or something like that, just run a really tiny amount along the front of your ears. So I'll just show the camera even closer. I've literally just done this little tiny line here so that I can then stick on the underside of my bookmark like so, and then I'll do another one on the other side like so. So in fact, even without the mouth and everything, that's already looking very much like a rabbit, isn't it? It's amazing how much character a bookmark can have. And so now we just want to add a few little details. Again, what you could do is cut out some little dots for them to be able to do their own eyes and things, but also it could be a good chance for them to do some drawing. So we're going to add on some eyes. So I'll literally just do a dot either side, like so. I'm going to add a nose, and as I did with this one, I actually included the nose in this pink colour, so I'll do that again. And so you just want an upside down triangle for the nose, roughly about there on your shape. Add a couple of whiskers. Like so. And then a nice little mouth. There we go. And there we have our rabbit bookmark. Like so. Oh, I love it. I used to have rabbits, so I'm particularly a big fan of that one. Okay, let's move on to crabs. Now, I thought these were particularly a good idea because you guys might be thinking already about what you might do in the lead up to spring, summertime. And so actually crabs are obviously something that relate quite well to the beach and holidays. So I'm going to use some orange paper for this. Obviously you can use whichever paper you like. Again, this is 15 by 15 centimeters. If you do want to make your bookmarks bigger, that's absolutely fine. Just start with a bigger square. I probably wouldn't go any smaller than this, especially with little hands. It would probably be quite fiddly to use anything smaller. But these also are a very good size for most books and things as well. I like the fact that with the crab, the pincers will just like stand out on the side of the book. That will be quite fun. So anyway, here's our square. As before, if you've got pattern paper, you want that to be on the underside. And we're then going to fold in half diagonally. Like so. There we go. And then we'll take the bottom corner and fold it up to the top corner. So, and then the same again on this side. There we go. And then unfold. Don't feel like you have to have origami paper for these either. I don't actually work from what you would traditionally think of as origami paper. I buy big sheets and cut it down to the size I want to use for whatever project I'm doing. And that means that actually a lot of the time the paper's a bit thicker than origami paper, which actually in some ways it is easier to work with because it's just a bit sturdier, less likely to rip. So feel free to use any paper that you've already got lying around, and you can just chop it down to size. I'm sure you guys will have access to like a guillotine, so you're able to then just adapt whatever paper you want to use. So yeah, so I would highly recommend doing that. So I've unfolded. I'm now going to take that top layer of paper and fold it down to where those two diagonal folds meet. Like so. And then we want to take these outside corners and fold them into the centre as well. So, and then unfold, and then the same again from the other side. Like so. And then we'll tuck this one in behind this fold. Another good idea for using these bookmarks, you could always use them to like as cards for messages for parents, or if they wanted to make it into something that's kind of interactive to take home. So it could be, I don't know what, World Earth Day soon or something, and they could do cards that then say something to take home. Yeah, another little thought. And here we have the bookmark again, but this time, because we want this section here to be the top, we're going to rotate it around like so. And then what we want to do is start making our pincers and then also our eyes. So I'm going to get a little bit of extra orange paper to make my pincers. I'm going to fold this in half like so. And as before, I just want to double check kind of sizing wise. Okay, so I want to go up to about there-ish, I reckon. So I want to use probably just 2/3 of the paper. And I'm going to draw my pencil shape on. So basically, all I did was 2 lines, and then I kind of arched it around like so, one side, the other side, and then a nice big V at the top. If you are going to prepare these beforehand, I assume you probably will, then again, layer the paper up so you can cut multiple at one time. But yeah, it should be nice and straightforward for you to be able to draw that. I mean, you might have children that you feel would be able to do that, and then you could do the cutting for them. Maybe they draw the outline. Very adaptable to whatever you feel your children can do. So I'll put around here. And like so. And I've got those two. I'm going to attach those while the while the glue's drying, I can do my eyes. So they will stick on behind like so. So I'll grab my glue and just again put a little dot at the end. So Pritt stick or whatever kind of adhesive you would normally use will be absolutely fine. Okay. The beauty of this glue that I use is that it's just so incredibly quick drying. So it works really well. Obviously, in an early year setting, it's not quite so ideal. I'll just stick those onto the back. There we go. like so. So now I will make my eyes, and that I will want to use white paper for. And again, I'll just draw on the shape. With these eyes, I decided to do little semicircles. So I'll just literally make a semicircle like so. I think this time, rather than folding it in half, I'm going to just do it all in one. So 2 semicircles, and then I'll cut those both out. Again, this can easily be prepared, but what might be nice to do is to give them the opportunity to then draw the eyes themselves on. But for this part to already have been cut out, ready to be stuck on. So go. Okay, so I've got my eyes ready. I'm literally just going to draw on my dots now, just so that that doesn't affect how the glue dries. So I'll just do a nice circle there, and then again on this one, and then I'll get myself some glue. This time I'm actually going to put the glue on the paper itself, like so, so that I can work out where they're going to go first. One and two. And then what you can do is get the children to add anything else to the face. So I like the idea that my crab looks to be shocked. And actually you could behave as if this part is the mouth. It's up to you. I felt like this half here though is like the body. So if I put a little tiny mouth, I'm going to put a shocked mouth again. Because I like that with these eyes they look a little bit shocked. And then maybe add a few eyelashes. Of course, everybody knows that crabs have eyelashes. Maybe you could do something a bit more anatomically correct. Right, there we go. So we've got our crabs, we've got some rabbits, and now we're going to make the monster. So let me put the crabs back over here. And there we go. Here we have a monster. So what shall I use? I'll use my green paper. Let's make it exactly the same. So again, if you are using pattern paper, make sure that pattern is on the underside, and then you want to fold in half like so. Hopefully by now we all know what we're doing. Bottom corner up to the top, like so, and then we'll do the same again from this side. And then unfold those. We'll take that top corner and just the top layer of paper, and we'll fold it down to the center. And then we'll fold those outside edges to the middle as well. There and from out there. And then unfold both of those, because we're then going to bring it over and tuck it behind this section here. Okay, and the other side, and tuck under like so. There we go. Right, as you can see, like with the crabs, it's going to be the other way round, like so. And this time we're going to start off by making some teeth, which I always find very fun to make. And actually, I feel like the cutting for teeth could be a really good practice of using some scissors. With my teeth, I did actually do them double layered just because I thought that made them seem even more dense. So I'm going to do that again with these ones. So I'm going to fold in half like so. I'm going to then just cut so that I've got that double layer of paper there. Put that to one side because I don't need that now. So I've got this double layered paper folded in half, and then I'm going to cut my teeth out from there. So it's nice practice of just being able to cut diagonally like so. So just cut little triangles out. And zigzag along. Now it might be that you get it to the right length already, or you might want to gauge it as you go along. I think I'm going to do one more spiky bit of tooth there, and that should hopefully now be the right kind of length. Yeah, there we go. So I'll just put those bits to one side like so, and then I'm going to glue that to the underside of here. Make sure you don't get any glue actually on this section, otherwise your bookmark won't function anymore and it will stick all together. And so we'll just put some glue along the top edge like so. Again, using Prick Stick or whatever is easiest for you guys to use. And I'll just slide it under and into place. There we go. So while that is drying, mine is taking a while to do. There we go. While that is drying, let's start making the eye. So obviously with a monster, you can use your own artistic license, but I've decided to give my monster just one big eye. So I'll take my white paper. I mean, you could even do a colourful eye, couldn't you? You could do anything. Draw a nice big eye on and cut that out. You could give them 3 eyes or whatever you fancy. I think the monster's a nice one for just really allowing them to use their creativity. Okay, so there's the eye. Oh, it's slightly smaller than that one. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same again and draw a line across, and then so it's like a nice droopy eye, a slightly sleepy monster, and then I'll just draw that on in black before sticking. It's always much harder to draw after sticking, isn't it? So get it drawn on straight away, and then that means it's easier to just put it on. So I'll just put a dot of glue in the middle, and then we have our lovely monster. Now the other option, I'm going to show you one more option as well. So we've got all of these different animals. Obviously there's also the foxes and pandas like we saw this morning, and so you'll be able to see those if you watch the recording later. But you might be able to work them out for yourselves if you now remember how to do all the bookmarks. But on top of that, you could also use patterned paper and not worry too much about all the other extra little bits to add on. but instead use something that looks a little bit animal-like anyway. This is a slightly animal-y type pattern, and it means that what I can do is fold it. So I'm going to fold in half diagonally, and then fold the corner to the top, and then I can just use this as my base and then add eyes, and that's all. And so it still looks like quite an animated creature. Just going to fold the other side over as well, like so. Unfold, and then I want to take this top layer and fold it down like so. I'm going to fold these corners over to create that crease, and then the same again on the other side. Like so. Oh, it looks quite like an envelope like that. That might be a good way to remember it. Sometimes I find children find it really helpful to sort of visualize, okay, this is the next step, we're going to get to this kind of picture. So it could be we get to the envelope step and then we can go on to this step. You might find that they end up being able to do them independently. There's a holiday club that I help with, so I go in once a week to teach them origami, and it's with children of all ages, and I go all the way from early years right up to key stage 2, and those children, every time I'm there, will ask to make bookmarks again, even though we're making lots of other stuff, but they're like, I'm going to finish quickly so I can make another bookwork. But yeah, they definitely find it a really enjoyable thing to do, and something they can remember as well, which is really good. So there we have our lovely pattern shape. And then what you can do is either cut out from white paper some circles and put eyes on for them to stick on, or alternatively, you can get these rolls of sticker eyes, which are brilliant in my opinion. Oh my goodness, I like to put them onto everything now. Now that I've discovered these, I'm sure because you work in an early years setting, you probably have already discovered them. But you can pop those kind of eyes on, and then it just immediately gives a bit of animation to your bookmark. Looks like it's looking at the page of your book. So yeah, in fact, let me show you on a square of paper. So the bookmarks will slot on like so, but then if you've got yourself a crab, then oh, it's so fun because it will be sticking out so you can definitely tell which page you're on. And then the panda ears as well, they work well. So there you have it. With the ones that are at the bottom section, they will go on the bottom corner. I mean, you can still do them at the top, but for them to be the right way round, you put them at the bottom of the corner of the book instead, which also looks fabulous. So there you go. There are all your bookmark options.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Esther. That was brilliant. I also made one bookmark myself.
Oh, brilliant.
Little,
Oh, amazing.
yeah,
That looks great.
it's a little rabbit. It's a little bit blurry, but yeah, I gave it a droopy eye, a droopy ear as well.
I love that.
Yes, so thank you very much for running this session. And to everyone who attended, I'm going to share the recording of this session and the morning session with you, and I'm going to issue certificates for you so you can show something to your setting manager. Thank you very much. I hope you had fun. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.